All right. Greetings, brothers and sisters. Tonight is March 10th, 2024. It's 5:06 p.m. This is our first mass meeting for the month of March for UNIA-ACL Division 421 here in Atlanta. My name is Brother John Hargrove. I serve as president for Division 421. And tonight's topic is corresponding secretary and our financial secretary. We're going over their roles and responsibilities for clarity amongst the officers, as well as our membership at large. So everyone should know the order of our meetings. We've just done a call to order and quorum. Next thing we'll do is a pledge to the UNIA flag. So let me get a copy of that for the audience's viewing. There we go. So, if you would, please come off mute. Put your black fist in the air and say the pledge with me. I commit my body, mind, and spirit to the protection,
My body, mind, and spirit.
to the protection, defense, and security
to the protection, defense, and security
of the red, black, and green.
of the red, black, and green.
I dedicate my life
I dedicate my life
to the redemption of Mother Africa
to the redemption of Mother Africa
and the liberation of her scattered Black children.
and the liberation of her scattered Black children.
I accept for myself and my descendants
I accept myself and my descendants
the teachings of universal African nationalism.
the teachings of universal African nationalism.
And I promise that our children will be instilled
And I promise that our children will be instilled
with the purpose and knowledge of themselves
with the purpose and knowledge of themselves
as African people,
as African people,
in order that the cause of our struggle
in order that the cause of our struggle
will neither falter nor fail
will neither falter nor fail
until all Black people are free and united
until all Black people are united
through one God,
through one God,
one aim,
one aim,
one destiny.
one destiny.
Raise first.
Raise first. Raise first.
So we've just completed our pledge. Next thing that we do to open up our meetings is our UNIA rituals. So I'll go through those briefly. It'll take about 5 minutes, and then we'll do roll call. So first part of our rituals is the from Greenland's icy mountains. From Greenland's icy mountains, from India's coral strand, where Africa's sunny fountains roll down their golden sand, from many ancient rivers, from many palmy plains, they called us to deliver their land from error's chain. Shall we whose souls are lighted with wisdom from on high, shall we to men be knighted, the lamp of life deny? Salvation, O salvation, the joyful sound proclaim to earth's remotest nation has learned the Messiah's name. Waft, waft, ye winds, his story, and you, ye waters, roll, till like a sea of glory, it spreads from pole to pole. To o'er our ransomed nation, the Lamb of sinners slain, Redeemer, King, Creator, in bliss returns to reign. Amen. And second part is Lord's Prayer. So I'll do that briefly. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those that trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. Um, and the last section is shine on, O eternal light. Shine on, eternal light. Sorry. Shine on, eternal light, to greet our souls this day, dispel the gloominess of night, and drive our doubts away. Our longing eye prepare when war and strife shall cease, to view the morn soon to appear, the new era of peace. Thy glorious church, O God, no kingdom can remove with love, no, made without hands, this blessed abode, the harbinger of love. Of all the gifts that flow from thy great throne above, we ask thee on our hearts bestow the gift of perfect love. My soul the light receives and dares the truth to prove, not in blind ignorance believes, but know that God is love. Come, love, and give new birth to man's destructive mind. Spread where confusion reigns on earth, goodwill to all mankind. Shine on, eternal light, thy penetrating ray shall turn the hour of darkest night into eternal day. Amen. So that takes care of our rituals. I'll do a brief roll call, and then we'll get into the ground rules, and I'll read the preamble, and we'll go into our topic. Roll call for tonight. We have myself, Brother John, member number 306, president. We have our treasurer, member number 2, Brother President Ross Marvin. We have member 413, Queen Mother Moses. We have our recording secretary, member number 449, Brother Art. We have member number 260 out of Virginia Beach, Sister Shantae. We have our First Lady Vice President, member number 453, Sister Diane, out of Macon. We have our second male Vice President, member number 443, out of Atlanta, Brother Malik. We have our third Vice President, member number 477, out of Douglasville, Brother Eric. We have our Arts and Culture and Training Coordinator, member number 479, Sister Cicely. And we have Dr. Kuda. Yes. Oh, thought somebody said so. We have member 478, Dr. Kuda out of Staten Island, Georgia. And we have our agriculture, arts and agriculture coordinator, member number, I believe, 192, Brother Cornelius out of Atlanta. So we have 12 on the call. Yes, Sister Cicely. Yeah, is there a discrepancy in the numbers, Ross? Okay. Let me know if I can't hear if you say anything. 12 on the call. All right. Preamble. Read our preamble for us, and then we'll preamble of the Universal Negro Improvement Association. The Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League is a social, friendly, humanitarian, charitable, educational, institutional, constructive, and expansive society, and is founded by persons desiring to the utmost to work for the general uplift of the Negro peoples of the world. And the members pledge themselves to do all in their power to conserve the rights of their noble race and to respect the rights of all mankind. believing always in the brotherhood of man and the fatherhood of God. The motto of the organization is one God, one aim, one destiny. Therefore, let justice be done to all mankind, realizing that if the strong oppresses the weak, confusion and discontent will ever mark the path of man. But with love, faith, and charity towards all, the reign of peace and plenty will be heralded into the world, and the generations of men shall be called blessed. So that is our preamble. And with that, we will get into the topic of tonight. All right, one second. So, for everyone that receives our newsletter, or has received the newsletter since the beginning of the year, should be aware of our calendar. And tonight, March 10th, we are scheduled to discuss couple of our secretaries, corresponding secretary, and financial secretary. Corresponding secretary is currently being held by our First Lady Vice President, Sister Diane, who is also in the process of being our executive secretary. So the office of corresponding secretary, all of the offices of secretaries have to report to our executive secretary. So until we get the position officially staffed, which is also an opportunity for individuals on the call, Sister Diane is holding that role. Sister Diane, you there?
I'm sorry, come again?
Just talking about we had talked about the position of executive secretary, and how the executive secretary is the head of all of our secretaries. Do you remember that discussion?
Yes, I do. Are you asking for a report or?
No. I'm just making sure we having the same conversations.
I was actually in another room real quick, so that's why I missed a little part of what you said before, but yes.
Just letting the body know, like I said, tonight we're talking about corresponding secretary and financial secretary. I think it's important for us to know we need help in these areas, first of all. So if there's someone that's out there that can take care of these responsibilities, that would be great. But until then, individuals of leadership have to take responsibility for offices under their authority, basically. And corresponding secretary will be an office of the executive secretary.
Yes. I understand.
Okay. Got some help in the background. So, all right. So I'm just going over what this is not the exact bylaws, but this is a summary of some of the points in the bylaws. I didn't want to share the bylaws themselves. I could have copied and pasted, but the bylaws are very in-depth, and I'm not sure if we need to go to that level of depth on a mass meeting. But at any rate, some of the responsibilities from bylaws perspective for a corresponding secretary is to contact members for our meetings and events. So even today's mass meeting or our upcoming Garvey Day, corresponding to correspond. So it's up to us as a body to be able to develop that package, that program, these flyers and things like that I mentioned. But once those are developed, we should have an office in which we can transfer that information, and that information can be dispersed to the rest of the body. Currently, a lot of it is streamline at the top, but the more help we can have with this, obviously, it'll be beneficial. Yes, Sister Shante. 1 second. 1 second. We're gonna open it up in just a moment. I just wanted to go through these offices, and these are just two of several offices where we need help. So take a couple notes. Couple notes. Elder's office, financial secretary, I would say I need help there. Corresponding secretary is technically an open position, but Sister Diane, through Office of Executive Secretary, would assume those roles. Chaplain is an open position. I'm kind of doing that work as well. Chaplain basic, but we just take a note of some of the open positions, especially vice presidents. They take up a lot of responsibility of open offices. So like Sister Diane, First Lady Vice President, is taking care of Executive Secretary, which also touches on corresponding secretary. Lady President, Sister Ra Ebony, also coordinates our Black Cross nurses, but there are a couple offices. But we need help and we need staffs for each of the offices as well. So any office that makes sense, please make a note of it. So corresponding secretary to correspond, contact new members for meetings and events. So she would need to maintain division emails, or he or she, sorry, please forgive me for that. That's one thing that but anyway, that could be a male or female role. Maintain our emails, maintain our email database, phone database, address database, basically our membership database. Maintaining that information and having sources to where they can utilize that information. So whether it's an email, they have an email group. If it's a flyer that we want to mail out, then there's a mail system with all of our individuals' addresses. But being able to maintain that, assist executive and recording secretary. So these are under the office of executive secretary, but also assist the recording secretaries. Because again, corresponding is sharing information. But if we're not able to produce information, then what do we have to share? So we can have you can be in a position of corresponding, but not having anything to correspond. So helping out the recording secretary with that as well. Make sure each member receives an agenda. So that's the invitation to the meeting. Most people should be getting that now. It's pretty basic, but at the end of the day, it handles the responsibility of notifying individuals and having an expectation of what will be presented. So agendas for our meetings is under the Office of Corresponding Secretary. Establish mailing systems, as I said, that's in line with respond to emails and maintain the email database. Attend the monthly PB calls, which is parent body calls. Those are our national calls where we second Wednesday of every month. Brother Art has attended a few. Sister Diane, we will need to start attending those as well. But as secretaries, financial secretary, executive secretary, recording secretary, corresponding secretary, per our bylaws, we all have a responsibility to attend the Wednesday national calls and provide the body with a report of calls. Per the division, that's kind of something that I looked at as to what we need from a division standpoint. Is again, contacting members for events, responding to emails, assisting other secretaries, sending out the agenda, creating mailing system. Monthly reports is also there. Birthday database and birthday greetings is also something that the corresponding office would handle. But Sister Diane, any questions from you first before I go to the body?
That sounds on point. That sounds on point. I will fulfill the role until we get additional help.
President Ross, you there? Anything you wanted to add to anything critical to these responsibilities?
You mentioned me, President John?
Yeah, was there anything that you felt needed to be emphasized for the role of corresponding secretary?
It seemed like you've abbreviated the bylaws. Did you have the full what it says from the bylaws?
Yes. Do we want to share that? I didn't want to share the actual bylaws.
No, because it's only a piece, a drop in the bucket. I think that's what we're gonna share in the whirlwind.
Okay.
That's what we usually do.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to read it off from the bylaws.
1 second. Let me give me 1 second. Pull up. Oh, I got the bylaws. And there were, yeah, we'll talk about it as a body. Let's see, Lady President, executive secretary. Recording, corresponding. Okay. Yeah, some of the offices had like members' information and stuff. Corresponding, financial. Yeah, neither one of these have anybody's information. All right, let me share her Brother Ross. All right, everybody good? There's a copy of the bylaws on the website. I don't think so. No, we send the bylaws to our members directly. We asked them not to share it on social media or anything. But if you would like a copy of the bylaws, members do reserve the right to have access to our bylaws. So that's something that we owe our membership. All right, Office of Corresponding Secretary. Currently, again, an open position. Staff is under Ross Marvin, Sister Diane. I would say myself in some aspect as well. Office of Corresponding Secretary A is responsible for updating, maintain, and managing Division 421's birthday database. Calling members, wishing them happy birthdays is a corresponding secretary responsibility. Office of Corresponding Secretary is responsible for contacting the members of Division 421 with the birthday greetings, call, and message by email and or text. So not only maintaining the database, but utilizing the database to wish members happy birthday. Office of Corresponding Secretary contacts in advance via phone, email, or text all members of Division 421 to invite them to partake in meetings and activities. So meetings and events, so to speak. But yes, any study groups or whatever it may be, it will go through the corresponding office. Office of Corresponding Secretary is responsible to check, receive, and respond to Division 421 email inquiries by individuals interested in the UNIA-ACL with a membership application, division brochure, and information on the Division 421's meetings and activities. So, Ross Marvin, sister, we would, corresponding secretary would need access to our division email. Ross Marvin, you there?
Yes, President John, I just stepped away for a second, but I just come back. What was it?
Our corresponding secretary, based on responsibility D, check, receive, and respond to Division 421's email inquiries. That means the corresponding secretary should have access to our email.
Correct.
Okay. So I guess I will we can provide that information to Sister Diane?
No, I think right now, what it is, President John, we don't even reach to D yet.
Mm,
Meaning that I think it's better that you and the correspondence secretary see which is the best one to start at working from.
okay,
Because it's not like D is of importance. It's going to become more of importance once we get the new website online and we get more communication.
Yes.
I don't know if you're following me in what I'm saying.
yeah,
Because right now, the only thing that the corresponding secretary needs to do with D is get all the forms that we've had filled out to the division, get it on a spreadsheet. That's what D is about. Because we really don't get too much direct mails like when we used to have people fill out forms from the website, say I'm interested in Division 421, I want to become member. I'm looking for this UNIA in California, whatever. So the responsibility, until we get the website back up and the forms back on the line, D is not as important as some of the other ones.
okay,
So I think we should go by what is most important first and work it down.
okay.
More the birthday greetings is more important right now because I haven't been able to do it like how I want to do it and think.
We touched on it and kind of initiated the process prior
Yes.
to, yeah.
Yes, Sister D, thank you for mentioning that because me and Sister Diane have worked on it before, but I want to give her enough experience so that way she can carry it forward on her own.
Okay. Sister Cicely, 1 second. Need you to elaborate. All email communications to members of Division 421 from the Office of Corresponding Secretary has to be BCC or CC to Division 421 President. So we'll get to that. Any and all mass email communication from the Office of Corresponding Secretary to the members of Division 421 must have members' emails placed in the BCC blind carbon copy section of the email to ensure members' emails are kept confidential. And we do that. So if anyone wondered why we keep our executive officers, I shared their, maybe I should have asked them first, but I shared their email, but our ordinary members, we do not. We put them in the BCC section. Office of Corresponding Secretary manages Division 421's contacts from website, webpage, or online forms and maintains this information in a database for spreadsheets of individuals interested for Division 421, interested individuals for 421. Office of Corresponding Secretary is responsible for making sure that each member of Division 421 receives an agenda of bi-weekly meetings before the meeting is held. Yeah, man. Hold on. Let me highlight that one.
President John, that's what you do right now.
Yeah, I want to
Yeah,
get that off my shoulders.
You do an H and also you do an F.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, you're doing them right now.
Yeah.
But as soon as Sister Diane get oiled up, because I know she have the drive.
Yes.
Sister D can make it happen.
Okay. H, we just talked about. I, the Office of Corresponding Secretary is responsible for keeping Division 421's contact information up to date and may use the app Truth Finder to accomplish this goal. So the phone number, email, and mailing address. We'll need a Truth Finder training session. But keeping our information accurate and up to date. J, the Office of Corresponding Secretary is responsible for attending the monthly UNIA-ACL Secretary General meetings and reporting to the President's Division 421, the executive body, and the membership on the operations of the Office of the UNIA-ACL Secretary General. So yes, that's the monthly meeting that I spoke of earlier. Office of Corresponding Secretary is responsible for checking with Division 421's president regularly to ensure smooth operation of Division 421. So any needs, any obstacles, president should be in communication with our corresponding secretary. Questions, comments on corresponding secretary? Let's see.
Yes, President John. Sister Shante, in the chat, she says that she has Truth Finder subscription. So I know that she'll be good to work with Sister Diane in updating the members' contact information who we don't have, because she's familiar with Truth Finder. But Sister Shante, it's better you speak for yourself, you know? Some reason I'm not hearing you. We're not hearing you, Sister Shante.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, we do.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear us? Yes, yes, we hear you.
Hello?
Yes, we hear you.
I don't think they can hear
She's
me.
not hearing us.
Oh, it's so crazy.
Okay,
We hear you.
I'm sorry, I had you on speaker, so I had to transfer it, but I do have a Truth Finder subscription, and I remember helping with the email. The thing is that there was so much email in that mailbox that it was just, it was too much. I mean, it was like thousands of email. And so I can help out in any way. I just need like the text of announcements and like the people that you want me to run the background check on. And then I could just attach the report back to the email.
Mm.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we do. Yes, that
I
sounds
can't hear
good.
you guys. Hold on. Let me see what's going on.
Yes, we hear you.
I don't know why I can't hear you. I'm gonna hang up and log back in.
Okay, okay.
Yes, President John,
Probably
if I
throwing
may.
up gang signs. Yes.
With Sister Shante, she one time was an executive officer back in the days, but we probably should find out if that's a position she would like to help coordinate that between that and the financial secretary, or help work with the our First Lady Vice President. But definitely, let's see if we can get her on the executive.
Sister Diane, what are your thoughts? She would be under your office as executive secretary.
That would be wonderful. I look forward to it.
Okay.
Now, who would be the executive secretary?
Sister Diane.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then Sister Shante would either have to be correspondent, financial.
But then when you feel so comfortable, my mother.
It would be in the realm of corresponding.
Okay, so
Yeah. So can you hear me? I can hear you guys. So if I could like assist with like any email announcement, and then I'll send it to Sister D. Is that your name? I can send it to her, and then y'all could email it. So I'll just be like correspondent. And so when I get the Truth Finder reports, I can send y'all the reports. I'll just need the name and the city, state that they live in, and then I can find it, kind of drill down from there.
Graceful and safe. She couldn't get what came. But ladies only get
Sister
grace.
Shante, what you're talking about is some of the responsibilities of the correspondent secretary. So we'd like to know, would you like to be or coordinate that area for the division?
Yeah, it just because I'm on several boards at one time, and that's why I haven't been able to be here. And so it just depends on what the expectations are and the timelines, you see, because I have to fit it in with the others.
Exactly. That's what President John was reading, what it says in the bylaws, but it's not up to you alone. In time, we want each office to develop a staff 5 to 10 people so that that way the works would be shared. But if there's certain things that President John was just presenting and you can help with those things.
Yeah, those would, I could help, like if you guys could get, I don't know when you do like your batch reports, and if you could send it to me and just let me know, like if you want to, if I get the information Monday, did you want it back by Wednesday? So you could, you know what I'm saying? I work better with a timeline.
I see. Well, definitely read over, and because you had said also you needed a copy of it in the chat, copy of the bylaws.
Yeah, I can read over those. Yeah, I need a copy of the bylaws and any people you want me to contact or to look up on Truth Finder, because I wouldn't be calling people. I'll just be like the administrative back office type person.
However you can help, that'll be greatly appreciated. So thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
President John?
Dante, your email still SR Howard.
Because there was two.
Yes, srhowardspence@gmail.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'll make a note to send you the bylaws.
Boy, Frank said, look, I just didn't take. I'm just coming back. I'm gonna be there by advice.
Does someone have something playing in the background?
Let's see. Got scared. All right, any other questions on Office of Corresponding Secretary?
I would like to make one other comment.
Yes, sir.
So, to the members and the family, Division 421 bylaws. I think we have about 44 offices or 46 offices in our local government. And it's very important for everybody to understand that the bylaws is the plan for our division. It's a plan. And it's a plan from we formed the division 2009 all the way to 2099. So it's a plan for this century. And we have to have a plan. Our bylaws are so important because it's the structure. It's the local constitution for our local government.
Yep.
Just like the parent body constitution is very vital, our local constitution is vital too, along with our parent body constitution. So the structure that we have, it's not in stone. The structure is the bylaws. It's not written in stone. And it always has to be improved, updated, and kept up to time. So what I'm saying though, is that we need members to coordinate specific offices, one of the 44 offices, and more importantly, the offices that's more important. We need members to step up and coordinate a specific office. And that's what we're looking for right now. So everybody should have, all the members will be receiving the bylaws shortly because the executive officers will be voting on it to approve it, and then we can send it to the members. But if there are certain things that you can do in one office and you might not be able to do all of it, and there might be some other things that you can do in another office, then say, I would love to be part of the staff because there's something that I can help with, okay? But because we don't have a specific coordinator for this correspondence office, we need somebody to step up and coordinate it. Even if you can't do everything in the office, we just start at one thing at a time, okay? So therefore, I just wanted to mention that, race first.
Race first. But yes, that's what it's about, is looking for individuals that are willing to step up. You know, you don't have to jump to the top positions, but just be willing to provide assistance where needed and where you can. Okay. All right. If there aren't any other questions on our corresponding secretary, I will move to our Office of Financial Secretary. Okay. And I'll just go to the bylaws, go straight from the bylaws. Office of Financial Secretary, open position. Financial Secretary is responsible for maintaining Division 421 financial database. Financial Secretary collects and documents Division 421 funds at meetings and events and issues receipts for all payments. So that's any funds we receive at meetings or events. Financial Secretary receives all funds of Division 421 and hand over the funds to the treasurer of the division to be deposited in Division 421's bank account. We've been doing a pretty good job with that. Financial Secretary is responsible for collecting dues from all Division 421 members in a timely manner. I have to be better about that, and members, I need y'all to help me to be better about that, collecting our dues. Financial Secretary the Financial Secretary is responsible for attending the monthly UNIA-ACL Secretary General meeting with the Secretary General reporting to the presidents of Division 421. So that monthly secretary meeting, it looks like our Financial Secretary is responsible to attend that as well, per the bylaws. So we should have and I like that concept. And we've been doing a great job, and the officers know that, you know, I appreciate the officers, but as far as showing ourselves as a form of a delegation, on the president's call, it's usually myself, Lady President, Brother Malik has been there, Brother Macy's has been there as well, Brother Eric has also been there. So where other divisions may only have one or two representatives, when it comes to Division 421, we have, you know, 3, 4 representatives on the call. So same thing with our secretary call. Brother Art has been there. Sister Diane, we have to make an effort to be there. I need to, you know, do what I can to at least listen in. But all of our secretaries, corresponding, financial, recording, executive, all should be attending our monthly parent body meetings. Financial Secretary shall work with the Executive Secretary to put together the monthly financial report for Division 421 and forward same to Division 421 President and the UNIA parent body within the first of every month. Yeah, we get that done. We're a little bit behind schedule, but we get it done. Financial Secretary maintains the records of contributions of each member of the division and makes monthly reports to the president, executive body, and membership on all funds collected during the given month. Financial Secretary maintains the record of contributions on each member of the division and makes monthly report to the president, executive body, and membership on all the funds collected. Okay, I'm gonna highlight that for myself. That's an interesting one. I like the concept. And I think that would be a good promotion to help other individuals keep their dues current. Financial Secretary gives an annual report to Division 421 on the finances of the division. We'll keep going. Any questions on Financial Secretary, just ask me at the end. Financial Secretary keeps a record.
President
Yes, sir.
John, you said something that contradicted to what G said. You said it was the dues just now at the end. But in G it says contributions. Should that be contribution and dues? Because contribution is different from the dues.
Financial Secretary maintains the records of contributions of each member on the division. So, okay, we're saying contributions is separate from dues.
According to our parent body, on the financial spreadsheet, page 1, they have the contributions separately down at the bottom. Page 1 of the financial report.
Okay. Okay. I think maybe it's the all funds threw me off.
But there might be an item other than G that mentions that the financial secretary collects the dues and gives reports on that.
Well, what would consist of an annual report?
The annual report is the dues.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And I think all finances, the dues, contributions, and different things, funds raised, like Garvey Day and everything else.
Okay. Contributions of each member, make monthly reports. That's interesting. Gee, I feel like that's from it does it says dues in my mind because it's the regularity of it. It's a monthly report.
So that's why I say we might have to change contribution to dues unless it's mentioned someplace else within what we're reading for the financial secretary.
Yeah. Because what I see in my mind is a vision of, and maybe it can get out of hand, but just maybe member number and a check to say, they paid their dues for that month. But if you got, 100 numbers that paid their dues, I think that will encourage others to pay their dues as well.
Right, but it can't be a check because it says the financial secretary have to give a report on all the funds collected
So it had to,
given month.
it had to be the
So-
amount.
Exactly, because that information is going to be needed by the financial secretary to give the report.
Okay.
As long as it's given to division members, that's our responsibility to make sure the members get a report.
Yes.
So we are right.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be something that goes in the whirlwind, but through your mailing to the members or the correspondence secretary mailing to the members, it will go directly to the members.
Got you. I think I need to make a focus of the annual report and make that the annual, at least have an annual report that goes out to the membership to let them know of, overall financial status.
True.
The financial secretary, keeps a running record of donations and any finances used to pay bills and all expenses and income of Division 421. We've been doing that. Financial secretary makes weekly, monthly transfer of funds collected for Division 421 to division's treasurer. We've done that. We're current for that. Financial secretary gives the treasurer itemized bills, sales slips, and invoices of payments. We have done that as well, especially for this year. We haven't really had too many payments this year. So, financial secretary at the end of the year prepares and presents records for audit. I like that. Financial secretary works as required with the president, treasurer, membership coordinator, and all office committees in the division to provide information for fundraising programs, special projects dealing with the UNIA, and donations to the parent body. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like that. I got a note on that when we get to questions. So it's a good segue. Financial secretary shall purchase supplies as required by the president of Division 421. Financial secretary is responsible for checking with Division 421's president regularly to assure smooth operation of Division 421. So that's what I didn't want to share was the member information. Sorry about that, Ross. Any questions, comments on financial secretary?
Yes. Do we have somebody here at the meeting who's interested in stepping up and being our office coordinator or on the staff for the financial secretary and the corresponding secretary? You hear what it's all about. Can we have somebody who does not have an office right now? Who's willing to step up to help put your shoulders to the wheel so that way we can grow our division? That's what I want to say.
Yes, sir.
If I may ask, President John
Yes.
and Brother Russ, I myself currently, I think I'm with the engineering team. Is that correct?
Ross, you got to break it down for
Yes. So everything we're doing, we do it as one, but it's two organizations. One is the UNIA Division 421, which meets on the second and the fourth Sunday. And today's the second Sunday. So this is UNIA Division 421. And then the other is the CBPM, which meets on the first and the third Sundays. So the CBPM is the organization that has the engineering department, Dr. Kuda. And
Okay.
so all of us do that. We mix up the two in the beginning. But as time go on, you'll be able to recognize the difference between the CBPM and the UNIA. But the UNIA has the technology department as one of our offices. And inside of that department is where they work with the engineers from the CBPM to rebuild the website. If President John want to just scroll down to the technology office for real quick to share that with Dr. Kuda, so she can see how she can work from the UNIA perspective and work with the CBPM engineering. I think the Office of Technology, President John, if you scroll down to that.
Yeah, let me stop sharing. I don't want to share too much information. Office of Technology,
Yes.
Assistant Treasurer, Trustee, Committees, Legion, Agriculture, African Redemption Fund, Arts and Culture, Business, this Constitution, I think it's Constitutional Citizenship. Yeah, Constitution, Education, Elders, Whirlwind Newsletter Staff, International Expatriate Movement, Legal Defense, Exoneration, Membership, Marketing and Promotions, African Prisoner Support, Research, Special Events Technology. Okay. You want me to read read this? It's not that long. I mean, I can read it. It's just this. It's
Yeah.
just what's on the screen. But
Yes,
Ross,
perfect.
was there something particular you were going to?
Yeah. Yes, Dr. Kuda had mentioned she's working with the engineering department of the CBPM.
Okay.
And we was trying to show her that the engineering department is part of the CBPM, but there's a part of the UNIA that works with the engineering department. And this is the office 41, the Office of Technology. So if Dr. Kuda wanted to be part of this office or help coordinate it, she'll be working directly with the CBPM engineers. But if you want to take a second and read it real quick.
I can. Office of Technology. Office of Technology is responsible to work with the collective Black People Movement Engineering Department to build the biggest African people's website in the world. Office of Technology is responsible for building UNIA-ACL Division 421 web pages at the CBPM website. The Office of Technology is responsible for creating an online membership application for recruitment of new members to UNIA-ACL Division 421. The Office of Technology builds the Marcus Garvey Day web page at CBPM website with the ability to recruit vendors, performers, and speakers. The Office of Technology posts Division 421 flyers of events at the CBPM website. The Office of Technology works with the Office of Video Production to post pictures of Division 421 activities at the CBPM website. The Office of Technology is responsible for building web pages for other UNIA-ACL divisions at the CBPM website. The Office of Technology aids and assists in building African people's online presence at the CBPM website. Yeah, and those are all of the listed responsibilities.
So that's the way, Dr. Kuda, with one stone, you can get two birds. So by coordinating or helping in the Office of Technology, you'll be helping both with the UNIA and the CBPM Engineering Department.
Yes, I would definitely be interested in Office of the Technology. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments on Financial Secretary?
That would be wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Kuda. Very helpful.
Most welcome, and it's my pleasure too.
So, yeah, and yes, and this is a recorded, we are recording this, so and anyone watching this online, if you feel an urge to step up to an office, please feel free to reach out to us, 678-631-9404, Atlanta Division 421 @gmail.com. Okay, that takes care of our main topic, and it's 6 p.m. It's I think that's like perfect timing. Any final questions, comments on our topic before we move to our officers' reports? Okay, I got a couple things myself. See. And then we got member share right after this, and we will close. Let's get ready to close out. So. All right. Officers' reports. Yeah, first thing I just saw what I got down here written out offices. To our officers, not even to our members. Officers, we definitely gotta knock out writing out our offices. Got a report from Brother Eric, got a report from Brother Malik. Ross Marvin and myself, we both presented our information during the meeting, but if there anyone else that has submit their information and I did not give you credit, please let me know and I'll make that update immediately. But we've talked about this since January. We're going into March. We need to knock this out, and so we can move forward. Questions, comments from the officers? Right now, our offices in our own hand. Sister Kuda, not really, and Sister Cicely, we hadn't talked about that. All right, no questions. Couple things for myself. I guess since I'm talking to the officers, we're in the process of grading our exams for the course of African philosophy. From those that took the course, attempted to take the course, I wanted to know your thoughts on completion is kind of where I'm going. Sister Diane, I did receive your exam, and I don't know if I hadn't sent you the final grade yet, but I did get your information. But Brother Art, Brother Eric, Brother Malik, I believe you said you're gonna wait till next year or next session.
Is there a way to do a makeup?
That's what I'm discussing right now. That's what I'm discussing right now. So I'm discussing
Okay.
the need for a makeup, the value of a makeup. I don't want to do, and obviously I see that we need more time, but I don't want to.
That too. Because everybody on there is AARP members. I don't know what y'all thinking with the little 3-4 hours.
So more time is we can extend it, but I don't want to waste the opportunities. So, brother,
Okay.
I hadn't, Brother Malik, if we had a 12-hour window, would that be sufficient?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
Brother Art.
Yeah, that would be good.
Brother Eric, I never got your feedback directly.
I've actually been taking mine as I'm on my laptop. So like I've been taking it this whole time, and last night I think I was on it. So I don't know if you guys prefer or if you prefer us to do it straight, but I've been doing it when I have time right here. Like I've just been pausing it.
All right.
But if you weren't pausing it, how much time do you say it would take to do it straight through?
If I was not pausing it straight through, had the time, I would say about I think that 12-hour window would have been fine. 4 hours is 4 hours is no breaks. I'm not gonna lie. Like 4 hours straight, I could get it done, but I would have to have that 4 hours set. But like if I was at work, for example, 4 of those hours would have been cut down because I wasn't there, and then that leaves like 8, and then that's probably
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 straight, a little break, 2 or 3, if it even takes that long, you know what I'm saying? But I think a little less than 12, but 12 to be open because that's like half the day.
Mm.
Sunrise, sunset, maybe 10 a.m. to 9:30, something like that.
10 to 10.
10 to 10.
We'll talk about it more.
Yeah. I'm taking mine though. I'm on mute again.
You good. Lady President, I don't think is Lady President on. No. All right. First Vice President, Brother Mason's greetings. Brother Mason, you there? You tied up. Okay, I'm gonna come back. Yeah, yeah, I gotta get with Lady President. All right, we'll talk about that more as amongst the officers, but I did want to touch on that as a group. Other thing that I had from my standpoint is Constitution. So we are in the process of doing a Constitution review. We did our first session last Tuesday. We'll have our next session this coming Tuesday. I have limited this to officers for the first session at least, but I did want to make the invitation open to members as well. And Sister Kuda, Dr. Kuda, did you get the invite for this last week?
Yes, last week I did get the invite and I did attend.
Okay. Well, I must have you in there somehow. But I gotta update your status to officer, make sure you get the officer emails. But any ordinary members that want to attend, this was the opportunity to make that known. Every Tuesday for the next for the remainder of this month and maybe a week into April, we'll be studying in-depth Constitution and bylaws of UNIA-ACL. So questions, comments? Okay. I got a comment in here for Whirlwind Newsletter. Just a reminder for our members and officers to assist with our Whirlwind Newsletter to help to build and maintain Whirlwind Newsletter and to be a part of the Whirlwind Newsletter staff. So think about that. If that's something that you have some desire and some time for, please let me know and I'll make sure you are included in the Whirlwind Newsletter staff. High Executive Council, another focus for hours. Also, somebody have something? Okay. Officers, I need confirmation on who can go to Philadelphia. We've started to receive commitments. I need $150 commitment from officers that wish to go to Philadelphia for HEC. Again, the exact dates are the 11th through the let me see, April 11th through wait, I went the wrong way. April 11th through the 14th, I believe. They have some stuff going on Sunday. I think they even tried to stretch it to Monday. But the 11th through the 14th, we will probably drive back on the 15th and drive up on the 10th. So for us, it's driving up on the 10th, lodging from the 10th, from the evening of the 10th to the morning of Monday the 15th, and then getting on the road Monday the 15th back to Atlanta. We'll be back in Atlanta that day before the following day, obviously. But definitely need commitment from officers that wish to go.
150 covers like commute and stay for that time, or like what's the
150 is the initial
right?
commitment. If there's more, we're gonna need some more on the back end.
All right,
But
bet.
150 gets you a seat, on the transportation and a spot for lodging. But at this point, yeah, we really got to know who, we're a month away. We really got to know who is serious about going, who has made time to go. And that's really what this is about. Again, as I've always said, availability. We have to make ourselves available. And newer people, not so much talking to y'all, it's more so the veterans. We've been around for years. We know there's only there's two major meetings for the UNIA, High Executive Council and Convention. So we have to do that what we can throughout the year to make ourselves available for those meetings as best we can. But so yeah, definitely need that commitment. Definitely that commitment. I would put it that way. Besides that, our fundraiser. So if you want to participate in our fundraiser, it's a first prize $1,000, second prize $500, third prize $250. This is a fundraiser from our parent body, High Executive Council. One ticket is $5. You get a book of 5 tickets for $20. So I would recommend to get 5 tickets for $20. But please reach out to us if you would like to make a contribution in the form of tickets. That is High Executive Council. We had our parent body report or call this month. Focus High Executive Council, how many people are coming to Philadelphia, and they're already planning for convention. That was the whole discussion. How many people are coming to convention? How many people are coming to HEC? We didn't even get to do division reports. Brother Malik, you remember anything else from that meeting? The first Wednesday.
That was pretty much it. Just trying to get a head count, and yeah, like I said, didn't get to anything else.
Yep, pretty much.
They got tied up on the shirts.
Oh yeah, we were talking about because yeah, man. Thank you for that reminder.
Yeah.
So New York for convention wants to have 1,000 shirts, wants to be able to produce 1,000 shirts. They've gotten the cost of the shirts down to $4 per shirt, but it's a $4,000 expense. Question that come up as to what was being done with those shirts, how are we going to disseminate them, how are we going to sell them, basically was the question. And the answer was they were not selling the shirts. They were giving the shirts away. So I brought up the question of like, where's this money coming from? Is this UNIA money or is this something else? And the initial answer was, yes, this is UNIA money. And my response was, has this gone through High Executive Council, or, is this something that a certain group of individuals is saying? And I was told it has not gone through High Executive Council. So I was a little thrown back, like, okay, so we already made a decision to spend UNIA funds and it hasn't gone through the council. But they quickly brought it back and said, it's not UNIA funds was the answer that was given. But $4,000 for shirts to give away for a convention to have some form of unity and presence. That was the main discussion. Head count and t-shirts. Questions, comments on parent body and anything that I've discussed so far. I only got one other thing. Last thing I got is
Yes, President John, question.
yeah.
Who, on the president's meeting, who had suggested that proposal for the t-shirts?
Brother Raymond Newgay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Convention is in New York. They wanted to purchase these shirts and give the shirts away with UNIA stuff on it, but it's a promotion thing. It's a marketing thing or something like that. But Brother Marua actually brought up the question first as to, how much we selling them for. But when it was brought to his attention that we weren't selling them, that caused some concern, and I brought up the question of who's the next division that's going to get, $4,000 worth of merchandise that they can give away.
You
But
brought that up?
what's that?
You brought that up at the meeting?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what was the answer?
That's when it went to, oh no, this isn't UNIA money. This is private money. But Sister Secretary General, she was in support of what I said. She's, Brother John is right. If we're doing this for one division, well, and who determines which division we're doing this for?
Are the t-shirts being done for a specific division?
For New York divisions. It's only for convention. It's for the day of convention.
So the funds are coming out the New York division to pay for the t-shirts. I know it's private funds, they're saying.
Well, originally it was coming out of Parent Body Fund.
Okay.
But that was denied, no, it's not gonna come out of Parent Body Fund. If either New York themselves or the leadership of New York gonna have to come out of pocket.
So I'm wondering about the design on the shirt. So I guess the design on the shirt will be promoting the New York division?
Supposed to be promoting the UNIA in general, but they didn't get down to those details. It's supposed to be just a generic, red, black, and green shirt. Was our understanding, as cheap as possible. So I didn't expect a lot of details.
I wonder if they're gonna have the President General on it.
They were just talking about how cheap the shirts are gonna be,
Okay.
and they wanted to give them away. But as far as the details of the design, no, we didn't talk about that. It's a good point. I'll bring it up at the April meeting. Oh, one thing I did ask, and I'm gonna need some help on from our veterans. For High Executive Council, there's a section in the High Executive Council agenda called, there's an awards luncheon. And I asked the leadership, point blank, I said, hey, will there be time during the awards luncheon to honor graduates of the course of African philosophy? And this is something that we've done for the past 2 years. This will be the 3rd year that we've done it, but I was told that leadership will get back with me. They could not give me an answer on the call.
So it's been done for the last 2 years at the convention,
At High Executive Council,
at High Executive Council.
yes.
Okay, okay.
And now the ceremony is being challenged.
Okay, because I remember when Brother Everett got his degree.
Yeah.
and a couple other people.
Yep. Brother Marua and Sister K both did speak in support of Division 421 continuing that ceremony, but leadership would definitely said they would get back with me within a week. So that'll be Wednesday, but I don't expect nothing. To be honest. I mean, I'd be nice to get something, but I just feel like they're busy, they're tied up with other things.
Okay.
Questions, comments? High Executive Council fundraiser. See some things in the chat.
I wanted to ask our members,
Ooh. Oh, Attorney Imhotep, I see you.
after Attorney Imhotep goes, I can come back. I wanted to ask our members a question in reference to HEC.
Okay, yeah, Attorney Imhotep is saying he wants to contribute his 150. Attorney Imhotep, you were going to travel with the division?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, our Cash App, $, I put pound, $, UNIA 421, it would be good. We'll talk, Brother Imhotep. I know you solid. So it's the intention, but yeah, we definitely want to lock in those funds. So if you can send the Cash App, that would be great. But I definitely, we talk regularly, so you long-time active dues paying member. I'm not concerned with funds when it comes to you.
Okay, if I may pose a question
Yes, sir.
to Division 421 executive officers. Does everybody understand the purpose of the High Executive Council meeting? And if there's somebody who doesn't understand it, then please speak up, because it's very, very vital that we understand the purpose of the HEC meeting. And what
Yeah, I would like some clarification.
Ross, I would guarantee most individuals don't know the true purpose of the High Executive Council. I've just learned that recently from studying.
Like, I understand generally, but like, what's the context? Like, where?
Yeah, what is the actual purpose?
Yeah, like the intention. Because I thought it was like showing what is going to be voted on the second time. Like, I thought it was for prefacing the second one, because the second one is where like things. I'm not sure. So like, I thought it was for voting and to like let everyone know beforehand what's going to be going on, like what's in the air, what's in the conversation.
Ross, I'm going to go to the Constitution.
Yeah. Okay, Brother Eric, you have half of it correct, meaning that it is the purpose of voting. But the main thing what we have to understand is what is being voted on. So at the HEC, what gets voted on at the High Executive Council meeting, brothers and sisters, is proposals to the government, changes in the Constitution, or amendments to the Constitution, I should say, this is where each division has a chance to give input on, for instance, now there's a few things that's not right in our government. What's not right is that they change it from delegates to voting for the President General in August this year. They changed it from 2016, but now it's not delegates that's voting for the President General. It's people who attend the convention this August, 2024, they're the only ones who can vote for the President General. So that means brothers and sisters in Division 421 who pay dues but may not be able to go to New York in August cannot vote for the President General. Brothers and sisters in other divisions throughout the country and throughout the world, unless they go to New York, they cannot vote for the President General. So that's, to me, that's taxation without representation. All of us have to pay our assessment in January. We have to pay our dues. But then for us to not be able to vote for the highest positions in our government, it's not right. And that's not how our ancestors created the UNIA-ACL government. It was, I think, in 2015 that they voted to change it from delegates, because each division used to have 3 or 4 delegates. So if there's 10, 20 divisions, therefore no one division can control who gets to be the president general. But what we've seen now, because we brought this up in 2020 to the parent body, and the parent body said they will look into it or they'll try to do something about it, because the sentiment amongst other divisions was the same thing, that it's not fair. Because what happened is that every 4 years we have elections in our government. So in 2016, the convention was in New York, and that's when President General Michael Duncan became the President General, 2016. But then 2020 was another government election every 4 years, and this year, 2024, and every year that it's election for the President General every 4 years, the parent body or the President General makes sure that that convention is in New York so that he'll get voted in back again. Because when he got voted in 2016, over 50% of the people that was at the convention was from New York. So of course he's gonna win. So what we have in our government now, one division is determining who becomes the President General, instead of how our ancestors set it up, that each division has a fair representation. So that's something that needs to be changed in our government. It's two choices, two roads we can take. One road we can take is to reinstall delegates into the Constitution. But I don't think that's gonna happen, because those outside of Atlanta is completely against it. And I think our parent body is against it. But the other road that we can take is allow online voting. If we pay dues, we're in the age of technology. There shouldn't be no reason why our parent body can't get a system on so that everybody who pays dues can be able to vote for the President General.
Especially absentee voting.
They only allow absentee voters for the elders. They don't allow absentee voters for anybody under 66 or under 65.
75 is the age.
75? So for you to vote absentee, Brother Malik, you have to be 75 or older. What kind of crazy mess is that?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
So that's just one of many. The other things then that need to change in our government is that our parent body is violating our Constitution by saying that we can't deal with certain people. We can't deal with Dr. Umar. We can't deal with anybody who's not part of our UNIA, because there's more than one UNIA out there, everybody should know. And by saying that, that's going against what the aims and objectives of the UNIA is, to establish a universal confraternity amongst the race. So there's things that need to be updated in our government, especially in our Constitution. So what the purpose of the HEC is, divisions can present resolutions to our government. So the resolutions is presented at the HEC, and then it gets voted. If it passes the HEC, then it becomes something to be voted on at the convention floor in August. And if it passes on the convention floor in August, it becomes law in our government.
Yeah.
So the purpose of the HEC is for divisions to present resolutions and updates to our government, so our government will be even better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm making this announcement now, just a mental education. But when HEC comes in 2025, we as Division 421 should have some proposals to our government to help improve our government that can be voted on the HEC floor. One division who always have resolutions is the Chicago divisions. They're always present. They have two strong divisions in Chicago, but they're always present. Their resolutions always get to be voted on. Compared to Atlanta, we haven't had much luck on having our resolutions getting any place in our government. So that's what we have to think about when we think about HEC. This is how we can update our government, update our Constitution, present different resolutions. And there's some more resolutions that we have to present. We have them in our division file that we had presented back in the days that didn't get passed, but we could always bring them back again. So that's what I had to ask that question of, does everybody understand the purpose of the HEC? It's similar to what we're doing now as an executive body, updating our local constitution or bylaws. But for the parent body, it's a process. It's the HEC. So we have to understand that our ancestors, our government of the UNIA has been meeting since 1920, since the government formed. Every year there's been an HEC. Almost every year. There's a couple of years there wasn't. And almost every year there's been a convention of the government. So this is, in 2020, the government became 100 years old. So this year is the 104th year our government been alive, and this is how long our ancestors have been meeting in the HEC. So the HEC and the convention are two annual meetings that has been going on in the UNIA government since 1920, since the government was formed.
Thank you, Brother Ross, for that clarification.
Brother Eric, I believe, had his hand up. He had a question.
You're welcome, Sister Diane.
Yeah, Brother Ross actually had a question about how you were like looking at that. So do you have or I guess do we have a criteria or type of proposal to address that problem for August or 2025? Or is that kind of the entire conversation?
Is August 2024 this year?
No, yeah. So are we going to bring any type of proposal or address it?
Yes.
Like, do we have anything for that?
We
You
have,
like a grievance form?
I think we should address the Dr. Umar situation for sure.
Well, one second.
President John had sent out to everybody
Thank
what
you,
the
Raffle.
parent body gave us for the
Mhm.
HEC newsletter. And inside of the newsletter, it has templates for divisions that want to present resolutions, divisions that want to present updates and proposals. So that was sent out from the parent body to all divisions, and our president sent it out to everybody when he sent out the HEC newsletter.
I'm gonna check.
So that's a template where we fill out the form to be submitted to the parent body to be voted on at the HEC. So we shouldn't be, as Division 421, we shouldn't be just going to the HEC and voting on other divisions' proposals. Where's our proposals?
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree.
February 19th, I received it. When did I send it out?
Okay, I see it right here.
February 21st.
Yeah.
But we do, it's, you know, it's not it requires some discussion. Each of the documents requires some discussion. I even I had to send a question to Council General last night, just asking him clarification. What's the difference between an amendment and a resolution? But we do have, you know, items of concern, resolutions, declaration to run for office, the election rules, the amendment form. We do need to understand the differences of each of these forms and, you know, how we need to communicate our grievances and proposals. Oh, I thought I was sharing my screen.
Could we do that lightly real quick? You think like what defines a proposal? What defines a item of concern? What defines a grievance? Like what's our format for anything if we have any? Like what are we thinking? What's all of this at once? So I'm first than anyone answering.
It's gonna take some time. I don't want to do that right here, right now. I at least wanted to allow our members to get to member share, and then we could come back and have a deeper discussion. I didn't want to turn this into executive.
It's like the sound was down. And I'm just seeing how the light kicking off the glass windows is hitting his face when the door opens.
Somebody has some playing in the background?
Yeah, hell, face. During a conversation.
We got it. Ross, what are your thoughts? Should we go? Do you think we should go through it or wait?
Yeah, I think we can look at them real quick. The proposal form, resolutions, amendments.
Yes, I wanted to fill out. Yeah.
So y'all have to understand, in our government, this cannot be filled out by individuals.
Oh,
Individuals cannot submit this form. Only divisions can submit these forms. So this is the proposal form.
Yep.
So
You propose a policy, memorial, tribute, testimonial, or some other type of proposal. And will it be, you know, for HEC or for convention? Who is submitting the proposal, division, represented, phone number, email, so contact and proposal, you know, we write out the proposal in your own words.
in our own words, and
Yes.
the
Yeah.
goals and
as a
objectives.
group.
And what are you trying to accomplish with the proposal? Description of specific steps needed to achieve goals and objectives.
So
So this would be a proposal again at the top, a policy, memorial, tribute, some type of something that we would propose.
what would be the like what's a good word? Structural. What would be the structural difference between putting HEC or convention? Like, so if you wrote like, okay, so if you checked like, I don't know, if you checked other and then HEC and then there was another one that had other and convention, what would be a difference between those two besides the fact that one is at HEC and the other one's at convention? Like what happens?
That's
I
the only
respond,
thing.
President John?
Go ahead.
The difference is because this is just a proposal,
Mm,
it's not anything that's going to be in law.
right.
Like the whole government's going to have to do it. Okay? It could be, I want to do a tribute at the HEC, like President John said, for the awardees, for the graduates of the course of African philosophy. That form, we can fill out that form
Mhm.
to help our president be able to present the tribute. And he would check HEC and he'll check other, and he'll say the proposal is the award ceremony, the third annual award ceremony for graduates of the philosophies and opinion course. So that would be one typical example. But if he wanted to present it at the convention, he wouldn't check the HEC, he would check convention. Or if there's something that maybe he had to present it at both, then he'll check both HEC and convention.
That's the time frame of when you want to execute that proposal.
So maybe President John, when is the deadline to turn in this back to the parent body?
Good question.
Amazing question.
Because maybe we can put in your award ceremony, our award ceremony proposal for the HEC.
It don't say it in the email. It just says, here's the information, please share with your division.
I think we still have time then.
Election rules, declaration to run. Yeah, it wouldn't be in either one of those, I don't think.
If it was sent out on February 19th and today's March 10th, and
Yeah.
the HEC is what, a month from now, month from
Yep.
today?
Yep, April 11th.
So I think we still have time. If we get it in within the next week, I think we're all right. But definitely look at resolutions and
Okay.
look at amendments.
Resolution, let's see. Yeah, see, this one's very general from what I understood. Universal Negro Improvement Association, African Communities League resolution form. The date, name, division, phone number, email, resolution topic or issue. So, and then it's just a bunch of whereas, be it resolved, government of UNIA on behalf of its members. And I guess this is, so it seems like a declaration type thing, like you have your complaints, and then you have, you know, what your resolution is for those issues. That's what I see.
Yes.
So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So this would be there's some type of concern. So whereas you know, individuals don't have the ability to vote, you know,
Yeah.
electronically wherever they are, resolution would be to reinstate the delegate system.
Right, whereas these members paying dues and paying
Ooh,
investments,
ooh, yeah, yeah. Ooh, that's even more.
whereas these members have been loyal members contributing to the headquarters. Whereas we got a lot of whereas we can put in there.
Yes, I like, yeah, makes sense. But yeah, the resolution document seems very general and open. So this is probably the most creative document in regards to how to categorize your complaint. Questions on resolution document?
And then the next one, the amendment. No, the amendments, everybody have to understand, is that's the amendment to our constitution, to our government constitution.
I got a question though.
Yes,
Even thus far between proposal and resolution. So I guess proposal would kind of be something new that we've never seen before. Or no, yeah, no, we were talking about the exam. Proposal seems more positive. Resolution seems more expression of a complaint, and this is how to fix it. Does that make sense?
right, you're right. It does make sense, but also I'll also add resolutions could also be from go to the amendments. Where
That's
at bottom it says, this is what we recommend that happen as a resolution. Well, that's really amendment to the Constitution.
and that's why I had to ask Council General the difference on those two. So I'm glad before I went to the amendment form, I wanted to clarify proposal and resolution. I think there's enough distinction between those two, but then resolution and amendment, we may need some distinction between the two of these. Amendment.
The distinction is amendments are directly for the Constitution. A resolution is not adapted to the Constitution of our government.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, straightforward. So, but the issue in regards to reinstatement of delegates, that would be more of an amendment or a resolution.
It can be presented as both, but our ultimate goal is to get it into the Constitution. So definitely would have to be an amendment.
Amendment. Got you. Got you. So a resolution would be kind of, yeah, because a resolution does not force an amendment. That's just like we agree with what you presented. Well, resolution it does imply some type of policy change.
But the only way that we can change a constitution is that we can't change it. We only can amend it.
Yes,
So that resolution would also have to be filled out as an amendment.
an amendment.
In order
Got you.
to add it to the Constitution.
Got you. Thank you for that clarification from me. Anyone else got any questions, comments? That makes a lot of sense to me. And we got something in the chat. Yes. 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 Okay, Universal Negro Improvement Association African Communities League amendment form. This is very special information. You know, takes years to get to a level of understanding. So having this shown and shared, we should definitely not take this for granted. Date, division, name of submitter, position. So I guess like president or whatever, I don't know. Email address, constitution version. So whether it's the small one or the large one, I like that. Is this an addition, deletion, or rewrite? Oh yeah, this is where the you know the changes happen. Article, section, and page to be amended. So specifically what we wish to have amended and write the amendment as we would have it. That's very straightforward.
So by looking at these forms, we can see what the HEC, the purpose of the HEC meeting is for. Is to vote on these amendments, resolutions, and proposals that's being presented by the different divisions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So that's why I wanted to make sure everybody understand the purpose of the HEC.
And officers, to echo that, we need to be holding the HEC accountable to these topics. Just this past HEC here in Atlanta, we were getting hit with, we don't have enough time to go through all of those details. So coming out of that HEC, there was a discussion about the importance of resolutions, amendments, and proposals, and making sure that the HEC as a body spends adequate time on each of these issues. So we as officers, as representatives, we need to hold our leadership accountable to addressing our resolutions, proposals, and amendments.
So for instance, what would be a resolution is us suggesting that online voting or some system be implemented where all members who pay dues and pay taxes to the government can vote for the president general. So that would be a resolution because it wouldn't be actual change in the Constitution. It would be just something adopted across the board of the government. But if we wanted to implement the delegates, re-implement the delegates, that would have to be an amendment.
Gotcha.
So that's one resolution we can add. That sounds like a valid one.
Of course. Because the parent body already promised that they'd look into it from 4 years ago when we first had the election in 2020. Another resolution we can put forward is that whatever city the president general is in, as long as it's one man, one vote, then the convention cannot be held in that city that the president general resides in. Because then automatically he's going to be automatically reinstalled as the president general.
I would can I upgrade that to the state of the president general?
Exactly. That's even more specific.
Because I don't know how far Brooklyn and Queens is, but I can see a quick, hey, we can't do it here. Let's go down the street and do it there.
Right. So that would be a resolution. So what are the resolutions we're talking and discussing? Because I think we have a week if we want to get something in.
I'm sorry, I wasn't sharing my screen.
Oh, you were right. Good, nice. Okay, great.
Got it.
Okay, I'm glad you're writing it down.
Yeah, I was okay.
Wow, awesome. Yeah. Because these are very important points that have been shared and we don't want to lose them.
Right.
Wonderful.
Presidents. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like this is a long, in-depth discussion. It is a very important discussion, but
I was gonna bring it back up at membership anyway.
It's like going to the grocery store when you're hungry. You don't always come back with the right
That's fine.
best stuff. All dues paying members could vote.
When do you think would be a good time to go over this before the week is up?
Before this week is out?
Because I think we should have it together by the 17th to give enough time to go over it and fine tune it by the 18th, 19th to send it to them. Because that would be what is that, 2 months? Or would that be 1 month?
It's 1 month away.
No. Since we received since they gave us the papers to fill out, how long has it been? That was about a month, right?
Yeah.
February 19th they give it to us.
Yeah.
March 14th is Thursday. That's the second Thursday. So I've been trying to kind of reserve our second and fourth Thursday for executive meeting matters, and I think this would be a perfect topic for that meeting.
I agree.
Of course. So this Thursday at 8 p.m. you're saying?
Yes, Thursday, 8 to 9:30. Yeah.
So we look at the resolutions, proposals, and amendments. So we have to understand our government is a government where we have to be visionaries. We have to be able to vision
Mm.
what's going to bring a better future for our government. What's going to enable our government to grow. And I don't know if we can come up with something with Dr. Umar, but right away, it come in like, say, the parent body, they have a trump card. Anything they don't like you present, they'll either kick you out of office or kick you out of the UNIA.
Which is the problem in the first place. That's the entire grievance. That's the whole issue.
No, let me tell you what we did back from 5-10 years ago.
Yeah.
From since 2016, everything started going wrong with our government because a lot of the elders who's been in the UNIA for over 40 years, from 2016, they were kicked out of the UNIA. A lot of elders were expelled. So what the presidents of about 8 divisions did, we got together in like 2017, 2018, and we started meeting together and was coming up with proposals and resolutions and amendments together. But our president general didn't like it. And what he did, when we presented it to him, he fired the Minister of Labor's and he fired the president of Chicago Division 421. And I was the next person where the axe was supposed to come down on, but he had other business to take care of. So he never ended up firing me either. But a lot of presidents lost their positions and were kicked off the parent body because we presented grievance forms. And the Constitution says that we can do that. I forget what verse it is in the Constitution, but it says that anybody can present any kind of grievance or suggestions or complaints, issues to the parent body. But this current parent body acts like if you're going to do it, you're taking a risk of losing your position. That's what happened to Brother Amacius last year. Brother Amacius had suggested something in reference, I wasn't there, I'm just hearing that he had suggested something in reference to us uniting all people, all Black people, all UNIA people, and the parent body wasn't with it. And they removed him as district commissioner for Maryland, I think
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. He was a district commissioner and the parent body removed him right after he presented his proposal.
Yeah, so it's a
And
delicate.
so no one challenged this behavior because this is not the purpose. This basically defeats the purpose. Like I refuse to have to go out here and fight for certain rights with white people and then come here and have conflict with my own Black. I don't subscribe to that. And so my question is, when you have that type of behavior, because that is the same European behavior that got us in the situation that we're in now. So I will not be a part of any of that. So if there's something that we need to do in order to hold these people accountable at the highest level, I am for it. I'm not afraid of anybody removing my position because then nobody give me a position to remove. God ordained me to be here and do what I'm here to do. So if we have to do something, then I'm all for it. But I'm not going to sit around and be a part of an organization where I have to fight my own people like I'm out here fighting these Europeans. I'm not going to fall for it.
Okay.
Yes,
And that's why the question you asked, Sister Shante, is anybody speaking up against it? And what happened is that the people that spoke up against it was kicked out of the UNIA. And they went ahead and formed RC 2020.
Well, couple things, if I may jump in. And Council General, I'm getting ready to call on you in a second, so please be prepared. But in regards to expressing our concerns, this is what I was trying to show earlier, and this is part of the significance of High Executive Council. Constitution Article 10 states, the Executive Council of the UNIA-ACL shall assemble at the headquarters of the association or any other designated location and shall consist of all high officers of the association and others elected thereto. President General Administrator shall be its chairman and in his absence, first assistant president general secretary, second and Secretary General is Secretary. This is a part that I felt was important. It shall decide all questions arising from division. So any questions arising from the division should be able to be heard on HEC floor and all matters affecting the organization, both internal and external. So if we have any complaint, I feel that we have the right through the Constitution to have that complaint expressed on the HEC floor. Finally, the Executive Council shall also address all matters affecting the good and welfare of the organization and its members at large. So that's pretty broad, and I feel that that gives us the right to express any concerns. Now back to the current status of our Constitution. Council General, I did want to get your thoughts before I went to any further in the Constitution, because I think you understand the significance of your role as Council General in this discussion. Attorney Motep, are you there? Attorney Motep?
He's on, you're on mute if you're speaking, attorney,
Yeah, you're on mute. We can't hear you.
but he's on the call.
Okay. Well, anything you want to say, Ross Marvin? I was going to go to what the Constitution says in regards to options.
Yeah. So go ahead and go, and then I'll comment afterwards.
Okay. And this is actually something that we will go over this coming Tuesday. Again, disclaimer, we are not promoting any particular attitude. This is a review of the Constitution. And according to the UNIA-ACL Constitution amended August 2000, well, this amendment from August 2005, President General should at any time act contrary to the good and welfare of the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League in refusing or neglecting to abide by or carry out the commands of the association and league through its constitution and through the order of convention shall, on proper evidence of the fact, be impeached by the Executive Council through the office of the Council General. And they shall be tried for such irregularities, neglect, misconduct, disloyalty to the association before the convention. So there per the Constitution, if sufficient evidence is presented, there should be a trial before the convention. If found guilty before the convention by 2/3 vote, automatically forfeit high office, and convention shall take immediate steps to elect a new President General. And last thing I'll read, Council General must prosecute. If President General has been tried and found guilty before the convention, the Council General must prosecute in the interest of the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League. President General shall have counsel to appear at the bar of the convention on his behalf, and such counsel shall be an active member or officer of the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League. So if there are any constitutional irregularities or behavior contrary to the Constitution that can be presented, the Constitution states that the office of the Council General must prosecute. Any questions, comments?
I don't think that's going to happen in this administration.
What do you mean?
The removal of the President General?
Well, what about a trial? Are there grounds for a trial?
I wouldn't take it that far.
Okay.
The only thing I would say is that the President General has to make it fair for all dues paying members to be able to vote. That's where I go.
I got you, but if he says, otherwise, what is our alternative? And
Well,
I believe he
gotta-
does have the authority to do that.
well, we gotta recognize politics. So politics is before we even present a resolution to the parent body, we try to get as many divisions in support of it as possible. So that way it wouldn't be just 421. It might be 421 and 5 other divisions that is in support of it. So we've done that in the past on certain resolutions. So it's really by vote, but there's things then that has been voted on by the body. And then the President General steps in and say, well, we ain't gonna do that right now.
Yep. Yep.
So if Sister Shante would have hear everything, she would have been on fire right now. She could be on fire, but she's on mute.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm eating dinner.
Yeah, I think electronic voting was one of those where it was approved by the body at large,
Exactly.
but it was not supported by leadership. So as of now, we have no electronic voting. Individuals that wish to vote must vote in person. And Ross, yeah, the political approach, I don't know. I mean, we did that with you're right. We did that with article reinstatement of the delegates. And that's how we got it through High Executive Council. But it was voted on again at convention floor. And that year convention was held in New York. And it was immediately shot down. It was crazy because I remember how much support we had for it at High Executive Council, but then when it came time for convention, it was almost as if the proposal never got supported in the first place. But the difference in numbers is what I'm trying to express.
That's why we need more people from 421 to go to the HEC so we can be there in numbers.
Yep. But any other questions on Constitution, anything? I think I took up everybody's. I always do that. Y'all be lucky, officers. Anything else before we go to membership?
I just want to say this has been very educational. I mean,
Yeah, I like this one.
so definitely everybody come on out to the Constitution meeting Tuesday.
Yep.
Getting
Yep.
deep.
Let's keep it going. Constitution meeting Tuesday, and again, I've already started working on the slides. Where is it at? Constitution training.
So for this Thursday's meeting, everybody think about resolutions. You have the form. You can even go ahead and fill out a form and bring it to the meeting for Thursday. So we can at least submit 2 or 3 resolutions or amendments or proposals from our division.
Any other officers want to say anything before we move to members? Anything? No, Sister Diane, you good? Brother Eric, Brother Malik, Attorney Matep, Ross Marvin, Brother Art.
Only thing I would say is show up to those Tuesdays and Thursdays. Pretty informational and clearly important. They have a lot of impact here. Lots of things come from that, and it's a direct input. Anything that it's a conversation. So that's the only thing I would say. Show up to those other 2 and try to make HEC if you can. That's all I would say.
Thank you, Brother Eric. Yes. With that, I'll close out.
That's what I wanted to say, President John, about HEC.
Go ahead.
Is that this is a great opportunity, y'all, A lot of times we think that we're the only UNIA because we haven't seen other UNIA divisions. But when you go to HEC and you go to convention, you can meet brothers and sisters from other UNIA divisions from around the country and even some from outside the country. So this is a great opportunity to go meet other brothers and sisters doing the same works that we're doing in different states.
Yep. It's beautiful. You know, you get to see some of your
One
counterparts,
big family, you know.
see how, you know, other officers in other districts, how they function, how they work. Any other officers?
Brother John, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Hey, I was just gonna say give my goodbye to everybody. I've got to jump off this call. I don't have anything to share right now. This is Brother Cornelius. Race
Gotcha.
first.
Thank you, Brother
brothers and
Cornelius. Race first.
See you next time.
All right, if there aren't any other officers, we will go to member share. As always, brothers, we have to be good listeners. We allow our sisters to go first. Sister Shante out of Virginia. Greetings, Sister Shante. Can you?
Yes. Greetings, everyone. I don't have a whole lot to share. I'm just really focused on the African trade deal that I spoke about. You can Google it. It's the African Continental Free Trade Area. There's just so much going on geopolitically, and it's causing a delay and, you know, bridging that gap between businesses here in the United States and, you know, our brothers and sisters on the continent. You know, we have all these proxy wars going on right now. The wars are basically generated or being prompted to get the resources in Africa in order to build AI technology, those electronic cars, and to just build smart communities. I don't know if you've heard about the smart communities, but in order to build these smart communities, they need the resources, particularly their GPUs. I think in the last meeting I call it MPUs, but GPUs, and that is what's used in AI technology, electronic vehicles, and the future smart cities that are in the process of being built. So we have to be able to link back to our brothers and sisters and free them and liberate them, as well as help them to, you know, capitalize on the resources that belong to them. And we have to get rid of European powers that are coming in to cause conflict and death and murder amongst the African people. So that's basically what I've been focused on. I'm also into politics because it is the rules and the legislation that drive a lot of these things that's happening. So I do take part in the political process, but I really want us to understand that now is our time. We cannot be infighting and having conflicts within our organization, because that is going to stifle our growth and development and will prevent us from being able to help our brothers and sisters on the continent. Race first.
Race first. Thank you, Sister Shante. Is there any way members can reach you, business line or email?
Yeah, I'll put my cell phone in the chat. Yeah, you could, because it's a business cell phone too, so you guys can easily just text me. But yeah, we need people that are really focused, you know, within the supply chain industry. So we already have people that are making things. And I don't know if people are aware, but a lot of our people are making a lot of money on TikTok. And so the government, in terms of legislation, is trying to shut down TikTok. Do you know what that's going to do to a lot of people? So this is why I'm saying we have to also be focused on the legislation, because if this happens, then a lot of people that are making money on TikTok, small businesses that are selling, because I purchase things from people on TikTok, are people. And so that's going to hurt them financially. And we don't have a network built to even, you know, take up that slack. So there's a lot happening, but I did put my phone number in the text message.
Thank you, Sister Shante.
Yes.
We'll keep it moving. We'll go to our next sister. Sister representing UNIA Division 106 in Baltimore, Dr. Zafia. Greetings, Dr. Zafia. Dr. Zafia, you there? Okay, we'll check back with Dr. Zafia. We'll jump over to UNIA Division 421 member 478, Dr. Kuda. Greetings, Dr. Kuda.
Greetings, everybody. Thank you, President John. And thank you for everybody for having shared all the information you shared. This was such a fruitful meeting for me. I learned a lot and I'm more enlightened right now and inspired as well. And I'm looking forward to making a difference and making an impact as we move forward. And thank you to Sister Shante for sharing on the issues of the African Continental Free Trade area. I've taken down your number. I will be in touch with you and see how I can also contribute on that and if there's anything I could do from the side. Yeah, and just in general, for me, there is so much that we could do as UNIA, CBPM, in development. Like just the other day, I used my AI application to start to see how we can help, because I know there's a problem with money moving from one country to the other or transferring money. For instance, if we have membership in a certain country, let's say in Egypt, and they want to become members of UNIA, how do they get their money across and so on? And even for themselves in their own countries, if they're doing any economic projects, how do they move funds around? So I was just doing some research and I saw how in Kenya, they started with an app called M-Pesa. And I just went and did more and more research on how we could do that. And that's something I would like to share at, one of our gatherings, to say, here's a proposal, here's something we could do. Like Sister Shante is speaking on how we can help our brothers and sisters in the continent, and even for ourselves right here in America. So I have a lot that I would love to share and present when the right time comes. I would love to do that. But thank you for the opportunity
Thank you, Dr.
and
Kuda.
for everything presented. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Kuda. You've been tremendous help and support in the short time that you've been with us. So we definitely appreciate everything that you've been doing to help. Okay, I think there's one more sister bringing it home for the sisters. UNIA member 413, Queen Mother Moses. Queen Mother Moses, you there?
I don't think I've shared.
Well, I asked the officers. I went through the officers. Sister Diane, go ahead. Look like Queen Mother Moses is not available.
Yes, I just want to echo that, there is a lot going on. I know that there's a strong organization. It's head up by I think she was a former, they had elected her for a key role in the African Union, but they ended up firing her because she started talking about the way how France is still colonizing like 14 African nations. I know that 3 of them broke free this year as far as military coups, but it's for the better. Niger was one of them. But in any event, she heads up a group called ADDI, and it's basically trying to get Africans on the continent, Africans in the diaspora. Her name is Dr. Arikana Chiambori Quo, if I'm saying that correctly, but she's a strong advocate for the stuff that's going on. The Afro-Continental Free Trade Area, I think, is one of the things that's been implemented that's supposed to be a positive for the Africans, but basically it's benefiting the Europeans because unfortunately It's getting better, but the African continent don't have the infrastructure to support it. And so the Europeans are, taking taking advantage of it. So that's something that we have to make better. And about the free cities or the smart cities, those are actually, I've been hearing a lot of negatives about that and how they're going to trap these people in the smart cities, but I haven't done enough research on it. And of course, they are getting the materials from the Congo. And the Congo, a lot of light need to be shedded on because there's a lot of atrocities going on there. A lot of people are being displaced from their homes so that they can go and pillage your resources. A lot of children are involved in child labor so they can get the coltans and all the stuff that they need to power these smart cars and our cell phones. And it's just, just a lot of different areas that light need to be shed on. I know that South Africa right now is involved in taking the Israeli government to court for genocide going on with the Palestinians over there. And but the other thing we can't ignore, that there is a lot of, I guess, what would be linked to genocide in different parts of Africa. The Congo is one key spot. And I don't think anything on the continent is going to be right until the Congo is right. Congo is like the heart chakra of Africa. So there's, as we go about our daily stuff and deal with the, our internal stuff, we have to have an awareness globally and try to mimic something that Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey did, because he was able to mobilize globally Black people. So we have to do the same thing today, but of course it has to be geared around the issues that are going on today. So yes, I just want to add that, and I'd say great meeting, and I'm looking forward to just our stuff getting better and as we move into the future.
Thank you, Sister Diane. Any questions for Sister Diane? Any comments? But yeah, thank you, Sister Diane. And echoing Sister Shante, keeping us aware of some of our global and international concerns. All right. Were there any other sisters that did not get a chance to share?
This is Dr. Zakia, just saying one love. Hello, everyone. Greetings from Maryland, and good to see everyone. I just am checking in, making progress, not perfection, on getting a homeschool cooperative kind of up and running, inspired by the Mali Empire. Original inspiration for that. Well, when Brother Garvey gave off his speech, United States of Africa, I think Nkrumah and some other leaders, they started to look back at these old trade empires to show that our ancestors in the past had been able to unite across vast distances. So just trying to bring that curriculum to the centerpiece. So little by little, we're getting folks and families in line, getting the curriculum up.
I got you. Please keep us posted. It'll be a local curriculum or something virtual?
It could be both. We're trying to help parents build up their confidence with a kind of like scouting versions, like a weekend enrichment. But then if they want to expand it into a school, they would be able to expand the curriculum into homes like throughout the week if they had that interest.
Okay.
Something for everybody.
Please keep us posted. That sounds like it's interesting and definitely beneficial for our people. Were there any other sisters that did not get a chance to share? Okay, it looks like most of our brothers are officers. I guess I'll go through Brother member number 140, Brother Andrew. Greetings, Brother Andrew. Brother Andrew, are you there? Okay. Attorney Imhotep. Number 165.
Oh, sorry, man. Greetings, Brother John.
Greetings, Brother Andrew. How you doing?
Not doing pretty well. I was just having a little trouble unmuting here.
Got you.
Listen, man, I did the test like about what 3 or 4 weeks ago, man. I ain't get any results. That means I failed.
You turned it in?
I did. It's been not this last test here, but the one before this test was like what 2 or 3 weeks before, 4 weeks before or something.
Last week was the first week.
You
No,
mean
I
like
did a
orientation?
test, man. I did one, man.
You might
I
be
did a-
talking about the orientation.
What test are you talking
Yeah,
about?
well, one of the questions was talking about Namibia and the
With the math and all that?
the tropic
The Tropic
Tropic of Capricorn or something like that.
That was
What's the thing
orientation.
about
Yeah.
orientation?
If it had math on it, that was
Right.
orientation.
So when you look at the results, that means you failed then.
We got
I haven't gotten mine either.
nah.
Right.
I would reach back out to him.
Brother Eric, you got
He sent
yours?
yeah, he sent some of them back already. He sent some of them out.
Yeah,
I would reach back out with the same email you did it with.
yeah. That's through Brother Oster out of New York. He's got access to that information. I don't have access to that.
All right, cool.
Did you get yours, Brother John?
I'll find his email.
He sent me a text message for mine. He sent me a text to let me know what my score was. But again, I've taken this like 4 times. So I'm not.
Yeah, brother. One other question about serving as an officer. Now, before you could serve as an officer, your dues have to be up to par, correct?
Yes,
That's
sir.
what it is.
Yes, sir.
And that's like the basic criteria. So if your dues not up to par, there's no chance that you could serve.
No, sir.
All right then.
Yes, there's a chance. Just pay your dues now and you're good.
Got to get your dues up to par.
Yes, yes.
50 a year.
Yeah, but no, we can't. We cannot forego that requirement for officers. Officers are part of leadership. We set the example. Part of our role is to recruit and bring in membership. And it would not be right for us to be asking members to pay dues when we have not paid dues ourselves.
Yeah, all right. Well, I will send it in.
Thank you, my brother.
Yes, Ras. I'm just shouting out to Ras and everybody on the call.
Pick up
Thank you, brother
Andrew.
Andrew.
Yes, Ras. All right, then. Cool. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother Andrew. Attorney Imhotep, are you there? Okay, we'll go to our second vice president, brother Malik, member 433.
Yeah, I don't have anything to share.
Okay. All right. We'll go third vice president, member 477, brother Eric.
Nah, I think I got all mine out. I don't want to drag on. Please come to Tuesday and Thursday, if anything else, or at least tune in.
Okay. Brother Art, our recording secretary. Got anything, brother Art?
Yeah, I just want to say we need everybody to pitch in and to get this thing growing. So just asking everybody to pitch in and help out.
Yes, sir.
Race first.
Race first. Yes. Yeah. It takes all of us. Greatest weapon used against our people is disorganization. We have to get organized and we have to, take responsibility in leadership. So thank you, brother Art. We can't say that enough. So were there any President Ross, our treasurer, anything that you want to share with the family?
I'm going to see if I can have a treasury report for us for the next mass meeting.
Mhm.
Still working on finalizing the bylaws. So where we at with the bylaws, everybody, is that for the first Saturday in April, that's our next meeting. We want everybody to have any kind of corrections you have, additions, removals to the bylaws so we can get it finalized. And once we have it final, I think we were to vote on it as executive officers. It might be pushed back to May, but I think we had scheduled and voted on it for April. But either way, we got to get that to the finish line and get it to our members and then get it to the parent body. We got to cross the finish line with our bylaws. And the other thing I want to say is that currently I'm working up on the Whirlwind newsletter as I speak, today's issue. And I want to thank Dr. Kuda, Brother Art, Dr. Zafia. They were at the meeting, you, President John, earlier today. And we continue to do the works. And there's a lot more that I have to report on, especially from the Office of Membership, but I'm going to save it for another meeting. But I liked our discussion today on the HEC. Hopefully everybody got something out of it, and we can get in some proposals on Thursday. This Thursday when we meet, we can get some resolutions, proposals, or amendments to present to our parent body.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's definitely the focus. You know, HEC will be here before we know it. We definitely need to be prepared and articulate with our proposals, resolutions, and amendments. So that's, you know, why Constitution has become a focus. And, you know, we need to use these opportunities to express ourselves and express ourselves, you know, through the Constitution. So was there anyone that did not get a chance to share? Okay, if everyone has had a chance to share, we will prepare to close out. Brother Malik, Attorney Imhotep, Brother Eric, Brother Art, please stay on the line. We'll talk about course of African philosophy, but I'll close out with our anthem.